Dwight Gooden was known as one of the league's most talented pitchers. He had a flourishing career. However, his drug-related issues led him into serious trouble, tarnishing his name and significantly affecting his success and fame. Dwight Gooden was born on November 16, 1964, in Tampa, Florida. He attended Hillsborough High School in Tampa, where he played on the school's baseball team alongside Vance Lovelace. Gooden was drafted in the first round in 1982 as the fifth overall pick. He spent one season in the minor leagues, playing for the Lynchburg Mets in the Class A Carolina League. Gooden made an uncommon leap from High A directly to the major leagues in just 1 year, skipping Double-A and Triple-A. He debuted with the New York Mets on April 7, 1984, at the young age of 19. Gooden made history on July 10, 1984, as the youngest player to appear in an All-Star game. He struck out the side in his inning, adding to the memorable performance by NL pitcher Fernando Valenzuela. During his rookie season, Gooden won 17 games, the most by a 19-year-old since 1964. His 276 strikeouts set a rookie record, surpassing Herb Score's mark from 1955. Gooden was voted Rookie of the Year, continuing the Mets' streak after Darryl Strawberry won in 1983. In 1985, Gooden had one of the best seasons ever seen in baseball. He led all of Major League Baseball with 24 wins, 268 strikeouts, and an incredible 1.53 ERA. Gooden also led the National League in complete games and innings pitched. At just 20 years old, Gooden was the youngest pitcher in the last 50 years to have an ERA plus above 200, finishing with an ERSA plus of 229. Gooden set a streak of 31 scoreless innings over 4 games from August 31st to September 16th, and extended it to 49 innings over 7 games until October 2nd without allowing an earned run. He also recorded the highest percentage of quality starts for a season, with 33 out of 35 games in 1985. Gooden's achievements in 1985 made him one of only 15 black pitchers in history to win 20 games. He became the youngest player ever to win the Cy Young Award and Pitcher of the Year award. In 1986, Dwight Gooden had a 17-6 record for the season. He struck out 200 batters, which ranked 5th in the National League, though it was a significant drop from his first 2 years when he was a strikeout leader. Gooden set another All-Star record in 1986 as the youngest pitcher to start an All-Star game at just 21 years and 241 days old. He was the Mets' top pitcher heading into the playoffs. On December 13, 1986, Gooden was arrested in Tampa, Florida, after an altercation with police officers. This incident sparked controversy, and a report later cleared the officers of any misconduct, although it contributed to the beginning of the Tampa riots in 1987. During this time, rumors began circulating about Gooden's possible substance abuse issues. These rumors were substantiated when Gooden tested positive for cocaine during spring training in 1987. To avoid suspension, he entered a rehabilitation center on April 1, 1987. Due to his treatment, he missed the start of the season and didn't make his first appearance until June 5th. Despite missing about a third of the season, Gooden managed to win 15 games for the Mets in 1987. In 1988, Gooden had a strong season with an 18-9 record as the Mets returned to the playoffs. In the first game of the NLCS against the Los Angeles Dodgers, Gooden faced off against Orel Hershiser, who had just completed a 59-inning scoreless streak. Gooden pitched well, giving up only 4 hits and striking out 10 batters, but he left after 7 innings with the Mets trailing 2-0. In his next start during Game 4, Gooden took a 4-2 lead into the 9th inning, aiming to give the Mets a 3-1 series lead. In 1989, Gooden suffered a shoulder injury that limited him to just 17 starts, where he won 9 games and lost 4. He bounced back in 1990 with a strong season, going 19-7 with 223 strikeouts, second only to his teammate David Cohn's 233. However, another injury in 1991 marked the beginning of a decline in his career. Gooden's peak came in 1985 when he pitched 276 innings, a feat matched by only 2 pitchers in subsequent seasons up to 2017. By his 21st birthday, Gooden had already struck out 928 batters in both the minors and majors. In 1991, Gooden faced serious allegations of rape, along with teammates Vince Coleman and Darrell Boston. However, after investigating the claims, authorities found insufficient evidence to charge anyone with the crime. In 1992, Gooden had his first losing season, finishing with a record of 10 wins and 13 losses, marking the first time he lost 10 games in a season. The following year, 1993, was also tough as Gooden ended with a record of 12 wins and 15 losses. During that season, Sports Illustrated featured Gooden on its cover with the headline, "From Phenom to Phantom." In the shortened 1994 season due to a strike, Gooden, then 29 years old, struggled with a record of 3 wins and 4 losses and an ERA of 6.31. He tested positive for cocaine and received a 60-day suspension. He tested positive again while serving the suspension, resulting in a suspension for the entire 1995 season. The day after his second suspension, Gooden's wife Monica found him in their bedroom with a loaded gun pointed at his head. In July 1995, the famous Dwight Gooden Times Square mural, which had been a landmark in New York City for over a decade, was replaced with a mural of Charles Oakley. In 1996, Gooden joined the New York Yankees after struggling early in the season. He achieved a significant milestone by pitching a no-hitter against the Seattle Mariners, marking the first by a Yankees right-hander in the regular season since 1951. Gooden finished the season with an 11-7 record, his first winning season since 1991. The following year, he posted a 9-5 record with the Yankees, making a start in the ALDS against the Cleveland Indians. He left the game with a lead, but the bullpen couldn't hold it, and he ended with a no decision. His performance declined in 1999, going 3-4 with a higher ERA. By the 2000 season, Gooden had stints with the Houston Astros and Tampa Bay Devil Rays before returning to the Yankees mid-season. Gooden retired from baseball in 2001 after being released by the Yankees in spring training. He ended his career with a record of 194 wins and 112 losses. After retiring, Gooden started working in the Yankees front office. He later took a job as Vice President of Community Relations for the Newark Bears in the Atlantic League in July 2009. However, he left this position in November of the same year. Speaking of his crimes, in December 1986, Gooden was arrested in Tampa while driving his Chevrolet Corvette with his nephew Gary Sheffield and former high school teammate Vance Lovelace. The charges against him included resisting arrest with violence, battery on a police officer, and disorderly conduct. In January 1987, he pleaded no contest and received a sentence of 3 years probation and 160 hours of community service. On February 20, 2002, Gooden was arrested in Tampa for driving while intoxicated, having an open container of alcohol in his car, and driving with a suspended license. He faced another arrest in January 2003 for driving with a suspended license. Then on March 12, 2005, Gooden was arrested in Tampa after he punched his girlfriend when she threw a telephone at him. He was released 2 days later on a misdemeanor battery charge. On August 23, 2005, Gooden was pulled over in Tampa for driving erratically. He handed over his driver's license but refused to leave his car twice before driving off. According to the officer's report, Gooden had glassy, bloodshot eyes, slurred speech, and smelled strongly of alcohol. 3 days later, Gooden surrendered to the police. In March 2006, Gooden violated his probation by arriving high on cocaine for a meeting with his probation officer, leading him to choose prison over extended probation. He hoped this would help him overcome his addiction. After entering prison in April 2006, Gooden expressed a strong desire to avoid returning, stating he'd rather face a gunshot than go back. Released in November 2006 after almost 7 months, he wasn't placed on further probation. On March 24, 2010, Gooden was arrested in Franklin Lakes, New Jersey after leaving the scene of a traffic accident under the influence of an undisclosed substance. Charged with DWI with a child passenger and other violations, he later pleaded guilty to child endangerment, receiving 5 years probation and outpatient drug treatment. In June 2019, Gooden was arrested in Holmdel Township, New Jersey, for cocaine possession during a traffic stop. He pleaded guilty in August and received probation in November 2020. Another DWI arrest followed on July 22, 2019, in Newark, New Jersey, the day before he was due in court for the June cocaine possession charge. His story highlights the significant impact of drug abuse, which not only harms physical health, but also undermines mental well-being and stability. This brings us to the end of the video. Make sure to subscribe to get more such videos on your feed.